Well, thanks for joining me today. I know you guys are very busy. So I just wanted to hop on and get to know Hanson a little bit better, learn about you guys, about the product line, and go from there. So I'd love it if you guys could introduce yourselves and tell us a bit more about the distillery.
Well, I'm Chris Hanson. This is my sister Lana, and we work with our family in Sonoma. We all come up to Sonoma every day and kind of work at the distillery. We've got our production facility here that we've had for a number of years, and then just in the last year and a half or so, we finally were able to open a tasting room here. And then we also have a tasting room in Sausalito.
That's right. Is that attached to an art gallery?
It is, yeah. So our parents were in the art business before this, and so they've had that for I think 35 years or.
Oh wow!
More. And so we opened up the tasting room. It's kind of on the second floor of the art gallery, but it's still an art gallery, and it just has a tasting room to go with it now. So
perfect.
It's a really fun, kind of unique experience for Sausalito as well. I mean, we get so many people from San Francisco coming over, and
well, right, because the ferry just goes right in there. Perfect.
Yeah,
that's great. So I am familiar with your guys' line, but I also know you guys, but I would love to hear you guys tell us about it. And I know you also had, I think, a new release in 2019, I think whiskey, is that right?
Yeah. So we make a line of organic vodkas. We've been doing that for about 7 years. Everything we do is with organic grapes. So make a wine, distill that, and we make vodka out of wine. And so, being in wine country, that's kind of unique and different. And then what we do with all of our vodkas is we'll do infusions post-distillation. So we've got a cucumber, ginger, Meyer lemon, habanero, and a mandarin, and then our original vodka. And then this last year, I mean, my brother can kind of tell you about it because it's one of his babies, but.
Nice.
Yeah, the whiskey is something we have been looking into for a long time, have been experimenting with for a long time, and wanted to take our time with it and get it right. It's kind of the vodkas are our main thing and our main focus, and we've been, we got the formula down. We kind of do that, throughout the year. And the whiskey was something we were experimenting with a number of years ago. Next to us used to be a brewery.
Yep, I did know that.
Yeah, small brewery, and we experimented with their equipment and other brewing equipment to make our whiskey match. So that was something that we tried a lot of different things with at the time, and then we barreled them and aged them. And so the whiskey that we came out with is a single malt whiskey. It's all malted barleys. It's kind of distilled in between a Scotch and a bourbon. Yeah, so it's not the traditional kind of bourbon style whiskey that you see, I guess, a lot in the U.S. It's distilled a little bit higher, and then we also age it in used bourbon barrels.
Okay.
And so the mash bill is unique. It's got a lot of chocolate and a lot of caramel. We think it came out really well. It is very limited because the size of the whiskey washes we could do were pretty small.
Sure.
But we've got a little bit in the pipeline kind of as the years come, and we're making more for 4 years from now. So
awesome.
And so we've released here just in our distillery and in our tasting room. So it's
that's what I was going to ask. I was going to say, if somebody wanted to purchase a bottle, is it available in the tasting room?
Yeah. So it's not on the big market at all. It's really just for the people that are part of our community and our fans and who have been following us for a long time.
That's great. Yeah, I'll have to come in when we're able to do so and come in and grab a bottle. Is the rest of the lineup available in retailers or specific items? Where can people find you guys if they wanted to buy a bottle?
Yeah, so I mean, our vodka is available in almost 25 states. By the end of June, it'll be in all 50.
Cool. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. And so we're in pretty much every major retail chain.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Whole Foods. And I mean, I think for us, it's been an incredible process because we're an organic product and we're a true family business. And so, a lot of these stores wanted this kind of real organic product. And so
Mhm.
we really fit in well with, you know, this kind of mandate that they're looking for. And
Yeah.
people like vodka. So
People do like vodka. It's a great,
well.
and yours is one of my favorites is your guys' mandarin. I think it's a really nice, like true citrus flavor,
Yeah.
which I think is hard to find, especially in with flavored vodkas. So it's a really refreshing spirit. I enjoy that one. So what are your guys' favorites? Do you have one?
I like the original just because that is we went through for a year and a half a number of different batches of distillation styles, types, and then filtration, and even our water filtration to kind of get that original formula the way it is now.
Okay.
And that's the base of everything else. So I really like the original, but all of them are kind of the best of the best of flavors that we've tried. And we've tried all different types of flavors out there, but we found, we don't use syrups or extracts or additives. So for example, the mandarin, we just get organic mandarins, zest them, and let the zest or the peels kind of macerate in the alcohol. And it takes, anywhere from 3 weeks to a couple months, depending on what flavor it is, to kind of get the essential oils and the color and the
Sure.
flavor of whatever we're flavoring with. So it's definitely more expensive and it's a lot more
It's
time
quite a
consuming, but
process.
that's, when we do blind tastings, that's what we liked and that's what other people liked. So that's kind of, what we went with.
Well,
Nice.
I just don't think you can beat using the real ingredients rather than like a syrup or an extract. I mean, like my favorite vodka is the habanero, and we're
That
using,
one's really tasty.
it's like 7 types of pepper and lemongrass. And I think that mix of all these real peppers, it just is such a fun alcohol to play with.
Yeah.
And you can put it in anything. I mean, it's so delicious. So, yeah.
I remember tasting, now I'd come in shortly after I think your guys' tasting room had opened. I was living in Sonoma at the time. And so I came in with my fiance and we did like the 3 tastes and a cocktail. And we each, purposely got different ones, but I remember tasting the habanero one and thinking to myself that it was like, it didn't blow up your mouth. It was really enjoyable for a pepper-based vodka, and how delicious it would be in a Bloody Mary.
Yeah, it's amazing in a bloody, or my favorite is in a Greyhound. Like,
Oh,
really good. But,
yeah.
it's, we, with all of our flavors, we didn't want to like hit people over the head with this crazy flavor. It's really using the real ingredients, keeping them in long enough so you get this really fun, something that shines through in a cocktail. But we've
Mhm.
also created our vodkas as a sipping vodka, and we
Right.
really look at them to be, they have to be able to stand alone on their own without being iced down, and just kind of, in the way that people drink other types of spirits.
Yeah, it's a fair point. And I agree that they have that body that can carry them, which is great. So how did your family kind of get into the spirits world? Because going from an art gallery and in the art world, it seems kind of like a very different space.
Yeah. Well, it was something that my brother and I were looking at a number of years ago. I guess it's 7 or 8 years ago now. And, I was living in Oregon and going to school. I went to school in London for a little bit and learned about brewing and beer, and went to the Jameson Distillery and learned about distillation a little bit. And that's
Okay.
where I got introduced to it. But I ended up going to school and learning about distilling. And then my brother, who was a bartender in LA, he and I kind of talked about different ideas. And my sister, my other brother, Darren, we all grew up in Northern California, and we kind of, were around a lot of organic food and kind of locally sourced things. So, we wanted to do kind of a very craft, have your own distillery, handmade vodka, which at the time, the vodkas were very kind of European nightclub
Right.
look and feel, and I think they gained the respect that I guess that kind of respect. So we just wanted to do something different at the end of the day. It wasn't to get huge or we just kind of wanted to do a hands-on project, and distillation and spirits making seemed to be something that was pretty interesting. And the more we got involved, the more interesting it was. And it seemed like, at the time, people didn't like the idea so much, I think, of organic spirits or, even grape-based vodka.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of those ideas are still foreign to people. That they'll say, now, what potatoes do you get to make your vodka? And so in the tasting room, it's a great opportunity for us to kind of explain to people how we're different, how we make it, how it's different than other vodkas out there, and why we do it that way, and why we like it that way. So
being grape based, are you guys sourcing, like, what is the varietal of grape that you're sourcing? Is it specific, or what does
we
that
kind
look
of
like?
have a secret formula, but we're using a blend of white grapes, and we have a very specific time that we pick, and there's a lot of kind of things that we look at. My brother spent a lot of time in the Cognac region in France and looking at their distillation process, and so I think that we originally kind of shared some of that stuff, and as we got a little farther down the line, we decided to kind of keep it to ourselves a little bit more.
Of course.
Because it's just, there's a lot of people doing a lot of unique things and trying everything. And so we love our formula, and our base, that batch 123, which is our original vodka, is still, true to the original formula. And so
that's great that you guys kind of found that and haven't needed to vary from it.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Well, it took a lot of work.
Yeah. I bet it did. So if there was one thing like that you wish you could make that you're not currently making, what would that be?
I don't know. We've tried a lot of things. We've got, some pretty unique distilling equipment where we can distill very high. We have two different style pot stills with two kind of different style helmets or heads, and then a 50 plate column still. So
wow.
And we can pull off at different levels. So it gives us, versatility to basically distill in any way that, you could imagine. So we've tried a lot of things. And I think for us, we, I think we like to focus, and I think we like to put all of our time and energy into vodka and making it. And, what I think a lot of what gets overlooked often is also the distribution and sales portion of it, which takes up a lot of our time. And we're going out there ourselves and kind of working with accounts and, trying to manage that as well. So it's kind of a balancing act, but I think, the whiskey was something that we wanted to do for a long time and had a lot of ideas. And I think we're really happy with how that's coming out, and how we might also change it for future batches, just to kind of, again, keep things fresh, but also, just experiment with things and never settle for, something that's pretty good, or always try to be better.
Yeah, I think that's great.
We talk about a lot is, there's some really great people out there that do a lot of really amazing different products. But I think for us, the focus and really trying to perfect our products and the couple that we do, I think helps us kind of focus in the business as well. It's something that it's been an amazing experience working in this company for 7 or 8, 9 years now, that we can kind of hone in on one thing and just try and make it better and better every year. So
yeah, I think that's great. You are just continually perfecting something that's already proven to be successful, which there's nothing wrong with that, for sure.
Yeah.
So what are you guys making at home for yourselves during all of this? What's your go-to cocktail?
As I kind of said before, I make a lot of Greyhounds with the habanero vodka.
Yeah.
It's really good. Another one I love, we'll do a Mandarin Greyhound so you do the Mandarin vodka, grapefruit juice, and a little bit of fresh Meyer lemon and a little agave and the 3 types of citrus. Oh, it's like one of my favorites.
That sounds delicious. Yeah, I think you sent that recipe, and I'm gonna make that for happy hour next Friday with
Sweet.
on Poppy and Vine Live. So I'm excited to try that.
A big thing about what we've done here in our tasting room, and you know, we believe in making really approachable cocktails that you can get with ingredients in your local grocery store. And so everything we do in our tasting room, we look as an educational experience and trying to help people make it easier and make it approachable. So, you know, all of the cocktails, we love to give people the opportunity to taste the cocktails in their tastings, or we give them little recipe cards and we show them, you know, it's really basic. You have your sweetener, your citrus, and your vodka. You don't need a ton of modifiers. You don't need to go out and spend a ton of money to do this, but you can make stuff that's really delicious if you use the real ingredients. Again, fresh pressed juices, or you know, and so that's something we really focus on with our vodkas, is just how to make it easy. And
I think what's nice about that recipe, for example, is it's also easy to find like comparable replacements that you might already have in your home. So for example, if you don't have agave, you could probably use like a diluted honey, or, you know, if you didn't have grapefruit, you could sub out a different citrus, you know, with your lemon. And so I think that's really nice. I think also, especially in this climate, if you want, you know, you can make something that you've got at home that you don't have to it doesn't have to be a fancy production, which I think making cocktails approachable is a really fun way to also just like engage, you know, with your own creativity.
Yeah. And I think like I did a Zoom call with like 12 of my best friends, and I was like, okay, just bring all the citrus and whatever alcohol and whatever sweeteners you have, and I'm going to teach you the basics, and you can trade out any of them. And they're, after an hour, they're like, oh, I really can do this on my own. You know, it just makes it fun.
And that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Good. Awesome. Well, again, thank you for your guys' time. I really appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to my happy hour next Friday with Hanson Mandarin.
Great.
And yeah, best of luck to you guys on your hand sanitizer experience.
Thank you.
And you know, thank you for that hard work. I know it's much appreciated by everybody who's receiving it.
Yeah.
So
and our part and help people out. So
for sure. Well, awesome. Stay well, and I look forward to coming to Hanson when I get to have that opportunity again.
Yeah, when you can, let us know, and we'll take care of you. Bring your friends and family, and you know, we'll show you around and
awesome.
Give you a tour.
Great. Yeah, we'll enjoy that. It'll be nice.
All right.
Okay. Have a great afternoon, you guys.
You too.
Bye.
See you later.